so I'm not really thinking about it. But you know, maybe if you got educational with the like you start them at elementary level, you know, get them educated. Maybe then the youth will start getting, you know, right.
Well, if we had teachers telling you, you know, you better get out and organize for this instead of just accept that you're not going to get it, then we might be in better shape.
Yeah, everybody's going, oh, I'll just
prepare.
Can teachers say that in a classroom? No.
I think, you know, I don't know all the laws about teachers. I should think there's teachers that do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's teachers that push the envelope.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're being told to breed a better capitalist and have them focus on investing in a 401k and work, and
teachers
not,
can teach whatever they like.
you know,
No matter what the board tells them.
until they get fired.
I hear that everybody's talking about Social Security, but the Social Security is not just the people who get it. It's broken down to when our seniors go into these hospitals and not treated right, they're picking up the money, they're taking the money away, but you're not providing the quality service to the senior. So there is different levels of Social Security. And that's another part that's never been addressed. You know, if we would worry about the elders, the seniors, then later on whoever's coming up would worry about the next generation. And I think that's the part that's missing. If we teach kids to worry about the seniors, then they could say, hey, somebody else has got to worry about when I become a senior. And that would help a little bit better to understand the system, which is confusing always.
Yeah, it feels like there's a huge generation. There's like 5 generations or like 3 generations in between that. Like that's what they're talking. They're talking about like Carlos. Like, hey, you're gone, dude. Like, and the protection is that there's so many people in line. You know, they're like 10 years above him. That's not gonna get. You know. So it's like, yeah, he's like 14. So he's like, I don't care, because this dude's not even gonna get it. Like, it's already gone so far behind, you know. Like, that's what I've heard, like, people saying it's so, like, yeah, maybe 10 years ago we could have done something. But it's way too late. Like, that's, those, when I, cause my little cousin, she started working too, like, more, like a real job where she's noticing that. And she started asking me that, like, how much do they take away from her? And I was like, I'm tired, like, what am I gonna do? I'm not even gonna look at it again. But then she was like, I didn't, you know, she's like, I don't want to pay for that. She's like, I'm not even going to get that. I was like,
it's like my dad. Yeah. See, even then, I was looking at my dad's eyes and, you know, we talk about what are his plans. You know, he's reaching 56, and so what are you going to do? He's like, I don't think I'm going to work my whole life, pretty much, because he's not looking forward to, you know, this measly pension that, you know, he already is in debt for, you know, his life to be able to raise his family, or, you know, to have the things that you want in life, and for you know, Social Security to, I don't know, not allow you to live the way you live, you know, your whole life, and all of a sudden you have to live within these means. You know, his answer always is like, I'm not going to stop working. You know, you probably won't ever see me in a house or, you know, in a home. You know, I'm just going to work till my last day. It seems like even adults sometimes their own attitudes are like semi-hopeless, or you know, like in limbo, like what will happen and what's going to happen. Oh, I was saying my dad, he wanted to like when he got laid off, like he's kind of happy because he gets to retire early. Like he's like, I gotta retire fast before there's no money. Like that's what he was saying. I was like,
that's
I'm gonna get some money before like there isn't. That's what he was saying. So.
I can't tell you right now.
Huh?
That's what he said.
Dude.
He's like, I'm out.
Nah, like he came here. Like my dad's like, I'm like, bro. Like he's been a janitor like my whole life ever since he came. Well, ever since when he came to America, like he worked at like Jack in the Box and stuff, and like. He's been a janitor all my life, and he's hella broke, you know, like, until, I don't know, like, he came over here, and he's like, oh, I thought you get off of work. I was like, nah, you have to come back at 7. And he's like, oh, I'm tired, I want to go home, like, I worked all day. And I was like, no, I'll give you gas money. He's like, okay, I'll be back. I was like, damn. Yeah, but, like, I don't really, like, trip off of that, like, so.
They keep raising the retirement age out.
Yeah.
I think they said they want to raise it to 70.
Well, that's the latest thing they're talking about now.
It's like you're not gonna live long enough to collect.
My
Well,
grandfather.
that's the idea,
5 years.
that's the idea, what
Yeah.
they're thinking.
So then, even too, what happens is, like, no one ever, when you sign up, you never sign up for Social Security, right? It's like,
No, it's, if you work and you're part of it, it's
but then,
automatic.
The government.
so it's like, you don't have a choice to become part of it. But then, so then you're not technically a member. It's not like a club. You know, you're paying your dues that you're gonna get back at the end, at the end of the term. But you don't have. It's not. It's like someone that's controlling all this, but you're not a member, so you
It's part
don't
of
make
the
any
stuff that
decisions.
Rachel was in.
So it's like, hey, do you guys really want it? No, we're just gonna do this. Or you know what? We're not out of money. Thanks for all that money. Basically, like they're robbing you without like telling you.
I was forced into Social Security medically, and,
To receive it.
yeah, because, anyway, so they said I could no longer work in my occupation. So SSI told me, you qualify for disability. I barely get enough, guys, barely.
Well, that's the other part of
To pay
Social
for
Security,
rent.
it's not just for seniors in retirement, it's
Yeah.
also for people that are disabled.
Right,
So the
medically
funds
or
that you
Medicare.
pay in for that,
Can't work.
what's that?
It's also for people who like are so addicted to drugs that they can't work. They get, I think, like a
Yeah,
psychological.
or people with mental health.
Yeah,
It's-
mental health
It's a lot of people I've worked with over the years get that's the only thing that keeps them from being homeless.
But then they don't let you work to bring in extra income, you
You
know?
can work a little bit, there's limits on how much you can work. You can work a little bit on SSI.
But I found out that if you start to, then they can take it away from you. After so long.
If you work it out with them, I've known people that can work and be on SSI, and, you can earn $400 or $500 a month, I think. If it gets up beyond that, yeah, well, you can do that too. But if it gets up beyond more than $400 or $500 a month, then they start taking it out of your.
See, so that's not enough, depending on the area of this country where you live.
Right.
Santa Clara County is one of your, and San Diego, I hear this is expensive.
Yeah.
It's
Because I know a lot of people on SSI that are homeless.
It's hard.
Let me ask this, because I know we want to get to Gene's question too. At the time that you'll need Social Security, who in the room thinks that Social Security will be there for?
I'll be in Mexico, chilling.
Like, I mean, and the question is, regardless of your age, at some point, when you're supposed to need Social Security, do you think it's going to be there? Because the big question is, will it be there, right?
Right.
Who? I guess raise your hand. I'm just curious.
Depending on my lifestyle, I don't know if I'll live that long, but...
Eating donuts all day. What do you
Well, I've only got 5 more years, so I think it'll be there.
Yeah, okay. What about the younger people? Do you think it'll be there? You don't think it'll be there?
I don't even believe in the Social Security. You don't even, it's like black, but that's what I believe.
You think it's gone?
Gone. For me, it's gone. For him, it's gone.
Did you think you feel the same way?
I think so.
That's the first thing he started working in. He says, what is this? And I go, well, something you're going to have to learn when you work. You get this, you got to check it, and then often you'll get a paper to something saying how much you made a year or 10 years. He goes, why am I getting this? Because when you get older, you'll get this if there's money.
Right.
So see, a lot of kids are, when they start working, they get happy about that, but they don't understand the system because nobody's ever taught them.
Right. Right. Okay, the other question then is, do you think that there'll be, do you think young people will fight for Social Security?
I think the only way that they'll I think, like, in telling students that it's not going to be there when they get up to that age, it's already like self-fulfilling prophecy. They're like, oh, it's not going to be there anyway, so you might as well not fight for it. Go for something else. So now you got folks buying into these IRAs that a lot of them collapsed in the last couple of years. So people are just screwed either way. But like, there's nothing better that you can invest in than your people. And that's what Social Security is. It's not putting money into the government as some disembodied thing. It's the people around you. Like, that's everybody. Everybody around you who works puts into it, and everybody around you who works benefits from it when they get up to that age. So, like, really, in losing faith in Social Security, you're losing faith in the people around you and in yourself and the work that you're doing, because you're paying into that system whether you want to or not. So, like, all we can do is fight for it, and unless we do, it's going to go away. So, like, when we listen to people that say it's not going to be there, from now on you got to say that's bullshit and fight it, because the money's going somewhere, and it's still going to be there when you get up to that age. The difference is it's not going to be going to you, it's going to be going to some guy who just overcharged on his contract unless we fight.
It'll go to the bank.
Yeah.
401 mattress, that's wrong. 401 mattress.
Isn't there, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I read this wrong, but didn't President Obama say he's making a new system that's like the Social Security system, but a lot better? I'm not sure.
Well, the thing is, they appointed a commission, is looking at Social Security, but all of their proposals are to cut down on the benefits and to raise the retirement age. And they are also talking about privatizing it, which means turning it over to the banks.
Oh, heck no.
You got an overdraft in your
No.
I got some, go ahead, go on.
Well, I, like, to piggyback off what Lamar said, I think that it's worse, the social disease that plagues our country is worse than people their age not getting Social Security by the time they reach retirement. I think it's this complacency that's inherent within the youth, this privilege, because no matter how hard youth have it in this country, they are highly privileged. You know, the poorest of families can go and get welfare and can at least have food, and, you know, it might be minimal subsidies, but you go to any other country and they don't have that. But you talk to any kid on the street and they'll tell you, chinga la madre del presidente, and they'll tell you, like, why their president sucks and why he's unfair, and they can talk to you about his policies. Let's go out on the street right now and we'll talk to a kid.
Lady Gaga.
You know? Lady Gaga was here yesterday, you know?
Still here.
Whatever, still here. I think... Oh, great, I gotta go. No, but, you know, it's bigger than the youth. It's just they're not carrying their lack of sense of priority and lack of wanting to be involved and knowing what's going on in their country, what's going on in their community. I mean, even with their neighbors. Today our neighbors came over and complained to us that we haven't gotten introduced ourselves to them. You know, like, oops. But these are things, you know, this is important. This is important. I mean, knowing what's going on with your neighbors.
We're all pretty much taught not to care now, though.
You know, and that's the problem. That it's bigger than
the youth button. No, you gotta make a button.
You know?
Call the like button or whatever. That's what. It's all broken down to that simple thing. Do you like it? There's not even like I think it's all the social media.
Yeah, like people don't even talk to each other.